FabFilter make a great plugin called Volcano 2, which we've covered elsewhere within this Groove 3 course. Well, a more streamlined, earlier version, shall we call it, of Volcano 2 is Simplon. In many respects, it's also redolent of the plugin just looked at in the previous two tutorials, FabFilter's Micro, in that it's a versatile filtering plugin. All that said, it does look a little different to those plugins just mentioned. So, for a sense of completeness within this Groove 3 course, we'll get started by looking at the user interface. You'll remember with Micro, we had access to just one filter. Well, with Simplon, we get to incorporate two independent multi-mode filters that allow low pass, high pass, and band pass responses. Simplon also adds more slopes than Micro. Here we have three slope options, 12, 24, and 48. The two available filters can be used serially or in parallel. And although not as elegant or visually appealing as the other FabFilter plugins that we've looked at, we do still get the familiar interactive filter display. It's this area here. And to the right are our two independent filter parameter areas with related dials and switches. The volume and effects mix operation dials are horizontally across the bottom. Now, as I alluded to earlier, the filters used in Simplon are adapted from Volcano 2 and FabFilters 1. You'll notice frequency and peak dials are here, with filter ranging between 5 Hz, well just below anyway, all the way up to 75 kHz, and again just slightly above that. And as we probably know by now, this frequency dial controls the center frequency of the filter, whilst peak controls the filter resonance. There are three characteristic types to choose from. Click here to choose FabFilter 1 for general usage, or Gentle, which, as the name indicates, is good for clean and smooth filtering, whilst Raw is available when you want to overdrive the signal. And remember, because we've got these two filters, that these can be set independently. For example here, filter number 1 as FabFilter 1 and filter number 2 set to Raw. As we saw a moment ago, we can change the slope here from 12 to 24 to 48. And also, as we mentioned, we've got three response options: low pass, high pass, and band pass. If we choose low pass, well, this will allow frequencies to pass through that are lower than the center frequency. Changing this to high pass means that frequencies higher than the center frequency are passed through. And finally, with band pass, only those frequencies around the center frequency get passed through, and how far below and above the center frequency is dictated by the slope chosen. 12 is fairly gentle, 24 is medium, and 48 is our steepest option. There will be occasions, of course, where you want to bypass Simplon. Well, use these buttons to engage your bypass. You'll still be able to adjust the parameters when bypassed, it's just that you won't hear the effect. Okay, and the only other switch available is the serial/parallel switch that either connects or divides the two individual filters. So that's the Simplon user interface. Next, we'll look at Simplon in use.